Hello everyone, welcome to my ninth Python course. In this course, we are going to be working with while loop in Python. So let's begin. So the syntax of while loop in Python is while the condition is true, the next statement here, if it is true, then it's going to execute what is on it. So this is four spaces, which is called indentation. So let me put this into code. Now to begin with while loop, we are going to be setting a variable to make something to be true, right? So let's say that I is equals to 0. We can say that while I is less than, let's say that's less than 6, print I. So let's run this Python program. We have 0. This is going to run till infinity. It's still running now. So to let this to stop running, we have to write a code which is called increment to add 1 to I, and we are going to get 1 to 5. Now let me stop this Python program. Now we are going to be writing I plus equals to 1, which is equivalent to I is equals to I plus 1, like this. Now what this means is that we have I to be equals to 0 already, while I is less than 6, print I, which we are going to get 0 as our first number. Then I, the new I is equals to I plus 1. Let me be using this as an example. The new I to be equals to new I is equals to this I, 0 plus 1, which is equal to 1. We are going to get 1 as the second number. Then it's going to go again. We have I to be equals to 0, but I is now equals to 1. So we're going to get new I is equals to 1 plus 1, which is equals to 2. Then we're going to get 2 as our third number all the way up to 5. Now this is it. So we have the output to be 0 to 5. Now another example, let's say that we want to print a multiplication table of 3 multiplication table. So we can see that k is equals to 1. We are not going to be using 0 now. So k is equals to 1 k while k is less than, let's say less than equals to, we are going to be printing it to 24, 12. So while k is less than equals to 12, we want to print k multiplied by 3, then k plus equals to 1. Now let me comment this. I don't want it to run, so I want my first program to be run like this. Now let's run this Python program. We have that to 3 to 36 because 3 times 1 is equals to 3, all the way up to 3 times 12, which is equals to 36. But let me explain this code. We have k is equal to 1, while k is less than equals to 12. Then the first one is actually 1, right? So 1 times 3 is equal to 3. Then we have k plus equals to 1, which is this. Let me use this as k. So we have this to be our new key, which is equals to 1 plus 1, which is equals to 2. Now since k is equals to 2, 2 times 3, which is equals to 6, then all the way up to 12, like that. Now let me give another example. We have so many examples that we can use to solve, but I'm going to be solving exercises using the for loop and while loop, if the statement, input, all what we have learned so far. I'm going to be using it to solve problems in our next Python course. So let me just give another examples of while loop inside this course, just to let you guys understand how to use them while loop. So let's just write a program to count how many vowels in a certain string using Python. Of course, you're working with Python, so using a while loop, I'd say. So let's say that word is equal to let's set word to be pneumococcus like this, pneumococcus. So we'll be using while loop. So I will have to set I to be equals to 0, or let me use something like k is equals to 0. You can use any variable you want. And also let me set count to be equals to 0 like this. Since it is while loop, we are going to be saying that while k is less than the length of word. So while k is less than the length of word, we are going to be using this if else statement. If blah 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 blah. So going back to working with strings in Python, we have something called slicing. I did slicing in working with strings. That is Python tutorial 5 or what, I don't know. So let's say that print word of 0 like this. So this is the beginning of the word, which we get in P as the output, right? So print 2, we are going to get E as our output. We got E as our output. Now let me stop this program. So we are going to be using this trick here. So let's say that vowel is equal to A, E, I, O, U, right? So clear of this pass. So we are going to be using this if word of K in vowel, we are going to be saying that count plus equal to 1 like this, then I plus equal to 1, print count like this. So let me explain again. We have a word is equals to pneumococcus, vowel is equals to A, E, I, O, U, K is equals to 0, count is equals to 0, while I is less than the length of word. So we are using this less than, sorry, I actually using, this should be K. I've been using I a lot. So we have word, the slicing, we use slicing here. So why I use less than and not equal to here? So I'm using less than because indexing starts from 0 and the length of word, let us count this. I think this is 11. So we can see that 0 is less than the length of word, which is 11. So if it keeps looping, we are going to get since it starts from 0, right? So the total will be 8 then, since it starts from 0. That is why I use less than. So if I should use equal to, this should be 0 to 11, which the total is equal to 12, which we are going to get index out of range. So let us try that. So we have that to be less than equal to length of word. So if word, we're using slicing here. So if word 0, this P in vowel is in this vowel, count plus equals to 0. This is an increment. We are incrementing I plus equal to 1. So this is 0. Then it's going to loop again. We are going to get 1. It's going to loop again. We are going to get 2. So it's going to loop to the end of this pneumococcus, end of this word. But we use them less than equals to, so we're going to get index out of range. Now let us try it. We got a string index out of range. So we have to use them less than. Now the output is 5 because we have 5 vowel letters in this word. Now, what if we want to print the word also? So let us try to print the word also. Print word of K like this. We want to know the words, the letters, sorry. So let's run this. We are going to get E, U, O, O, I. So we have 2 O's, which is this O and also this O, like this inside is vowel letter. But this is printed like this. So what if you want to print these up using one line? You can just put a comma and add end here, like this, and run this. We are going to get E, U, O, O, I, 5. Now, if you want to put space, you can make it like this. So we have space here. So that is how while loop is working. So let's talk about break and continue statement in Python. You can set a variable which is in boolean like this is equal to true, and after setting a variable boolean that is equal to true, we want to write a program to check if a string is equal to a string. That is, user is going to input something, but we've marked it in our code that if this is equal to what the user has input, print you are right. It's just work out like that. So just keep looping. We are going to be using doing the logout later. So boolean is equal to true. We consider while boolean. Since we've set boolean is equals true, now we consider while true, which is the same thing as saying that while true. So this is while boolean. So since we've set it to a variable, so while boolean, we want to let the user to input something. So we consider password is equal to input like this, like this. So if password is equal to password, so user can easily guess that. So if password is equal to 1234 print you are right, then I'm going to be using the break statement here. So break, no, that's wrong. Now it's waiting for me to input something to the screen. Let's input this. Now it will keep running unless the user gets the password right. So this is you are right because the password is right. So what if we don't just want it to keep looping like that? We want it to stop at a certain stage. So firstly, if you don't want to use break here, you can also change this to boolean is equal to false like this, right? Is equals to false. From our definition, we said while condition is true. So if this condition is true, execute what is under it, then indentation. So we have these as while boolean, while true. So if the user gets the password right, let the boolean to be equal to false, then this is going to pop out of our loop. So let's run this. It will keep running unless the user gets the password right. So we have the output as you are right. Now let me create another variable. Let's say that the guess limit, it can be 5, guess count. This is just like a guessing game. So we can set guess count is less than guess limit like this. So while guess count is less than guess limit, password is equals to input password. So if password is equals to guess, then we don't have anything like boolean anymore. We can say that you are right, then break. So after breaking, we have to loop something. So we have to loop guess count, right? So let's loop guess count plus equal to 1. So let's run this Python code. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have process finished with exit code 0. Now let me rerun this and let's try. Maybe it will work if I still guessed it right. So we have the output as you are right because what we input is equal to the guess. If you don't want to use break statement here, you can just set the guess count like this manually. Guess count to be equal to 5, since that is the bound of this thing. So it won't satisfy this condition anymore if guess count is equal to 5. So let's run this code. It's still the same thing, nothing changed. So we have the output as process finish with exit code 0. So I'm going to be doing more things like this that will have so many things inside this guess game. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.